So was the first movie to get permission to film in the off areas of the catacombs. And they shot it over a period of 6 weeks. 5 of those weeks were spent just in the catacombs. So the majority of what we're seeing are the actual catacombs. The only things that weren't shot are obviously like the bus scene in the beginning, and then some of the underwater scenes. So like in the tomb where they go all the way underwater, that's not in the catacombs. What's cool is because all of this was shot in the catacombs, they couldn't like put lighting down there and bring wires down there and throw electricity down there. So the like 90% of this is actually shot through the actors' cameras with their headlamps being the only lighting.
That's amazing.
But yeah, so the way we're seeing it is the way that the actors actually were seeing it. I think it's cool that the actors actually did the vast majority of the shooting for this film. They talk about how it was actually really difficult too, because to get down there, the only way to get down there was to go down 6 flights of stairs. So they would go down there with all their equipment. They would have to come back up for lunch. And it was cold. It was dark down there. They were in a hole in the ground. Walkie-talkies didn't work. There weren't bathrooms. There wasn't electricity. So, and it's funny because the entrance that they filmed by was right next to a hospital. So they would get all bloodied up, walk through a hospital parking lot, go down the stairs, and then go film for hours and come back up like out by this hospital. And I
Oh my
just think that
gosh.
imagery is funny, that these like bloodied people are just walking past a hospital but not going in it. Speaking of bringing stuff underground, the phone, the car, and the piano, there was a person whose job was to haul all of that down
Oh
into the real
no.
catacombs. Yes, they actually lit a car on fire
Oh my
underground in the
gosh.
catacombs. Yes. Isn't that crazy? And there was a person who had to bring it down.
Based on everything you're telling me, I'm surprised they didn't make the actors do that too.
Right? That's true. No, there was a guy whose whole job was to get that piano down there, which I think is fun. But I don't know. I just think that's so cool, like the level of detail that they put into it. And speaking of the level of detail, while I was reading about it, that piano is the same piano that the Dowdle brothers had in their home when they were growing up. That's how it was filmed, which I think is amazing, and that's my bloody shovel.